Hi everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda. So this was just a fun little book I made, inspired one by the kit that I found on Etsy. It's called Fairyland Forest by Pixie Dust Files. I have the link down below. And then two things. One was Nik the Booksmith. She had a book that she made, and this is my version of that book. And it was for capturing quotes and things. And so this was my version of that, and it's got all my favorite pieces from books that I like to read that I grab on Kindle as I read them, and so there it's filled with those, and still filling it up. So as you can see, it's very, very similar, so I used the same style somewhat. What I didn't like about how I made this one, I fixed, if you will, in this one. And then also a Etsy listing for a kit, but in the listing it showed a pre-made book, and then she has a YouTube video that takes you through. In just a second. Okay. Alright, found it. Shabby Art Boutique, and it's print and make forest again book. Anyways, I'll have the link also for that down below. Probably I'll give you the YouTube and you can see it. And that was, I would say that was my, I had purchased the kit quite a while ago. Really loved it, but didn't quite know what I was going to do with it. And then when I saw that listing, it's like, ooh, and it sparked my creativity. And then, like I said, I really enjoyed the Nik the Booksmith book that she made, and I wanted to kind of fix what I didn't like about the other one. So that's everything. And if you look at the Etsy inspiration, you're going to go, how in the world is that? Yeah. I start with, what I call my inspiration. And then it ends up being something completely different. But still, it was my inspiration, so I want to give a shout out for that. So what did I not like about this one that I tried to fix? The biggest thing was the spine. She's a much better sewer than I am, and I think she's got it more exact. So mine really sucks. And if you go in between, you can see just how bad it is. And I also don't like, it's very floppy. The pages, they're very floppy in here, and I don't really like that. As you can see, so it just doesn't, line up very nicely. So that was my biggest thing, was the spine and how I stitched it in. So everything else I really liked. The boards that give so it's basically upholstery, and then you have these boards that I painted with a matte black, which is why it's catching but I really like that. And the upholstery you put in inside out, so the back part of the upholstery is on the front, because you're covering it with wood, so you're not going to see it, but when you open it up, that's what you see. So like I said, the spine was my issue. So what did I do with the spine? I can show you the side. Yeah, get it there. About that view. What I did was I took another piece of chipboard and made a spine piece out of the chipboard, sewed my signatures into that board, and then glued the board in first into my upholstery. Once I had it all glued in, then cut my upholstery to the size of the book, and then added my two chipboard pieces for the front and back cover. So that's the major difference, and I definitely prefer that better. You can see it gives it a lot more stability. And because, like I said, she's a much better sewer, so hers is perfect. I stink at it, so my compromise works because or for me, it works because of, that's my ability. So work two strengths, right? So other than that, you can see it's very much the same construction. This one has 2 signatures. I don't remember how many I put in that. Quite a few, actually, but they're very small signatures. I also initially sewed in my signatures to the right side of the upholstery, which meant the right side was facing up, and it was you had the back side where you could see everything, and it was hideous. So I had to pull that off, but luckily it worked pretty well. Didn't rip anything, came off really easy, but it left some of the so this is chipboard that I then covered in craft paper, and it left some of that paper on the spine. So I was going to cover it anyways, but it worked perfectly because then I could cover it, and boo, you don't see that nice little mess up. I also added these corner pieces. I just really like that. And this is from the kit, of course, journal. So I like how that turned out. I'm not sure about the back. I might add, maybe something over here, just a little tiny something to just enhance the back just a little bit. But I don't really like lots of things on the backs of my books, so I don't know what I might do with that. So anyway, let's take a look at that. So here's the inside of the upholstery. I think it goes really nicely with the paper that is in here. And there you can really see the spine piece that I put in. I think it would be nice if it was also covered by the upholstery, but how do you do that? So you see that. But luckily it blends in nicely. So I think that upholstery worked out really nicely. Let's see, so the paper in here is, every bit of it is printed paper. So either printed paper that I had already printed for past projects, or printed from the kit itself, which is the Fairyland Forest. The other papers that are in here are from Digital Curio. Digital Curio, that's a couple of them. The other ones are from, let me check. Ah, yes, okay. Antique Papery. So, again, I'll have the links to their Etsy shops down below. So, there's ones you see in here that look like this. Let me get to this one. This one's better. It's really neat. It's got this background of writing, and then these really neat leaves over it with little speckles. Those are all the Antique Papery. And then the other ones are, let me find one that's like here. This one is from Digital Curio. So the ones that, and they're all different, but the, like this, so everything else that's not from the kit is Digital Curio. All right, so one of the major things that I did was, so all of the papers within this kit have, I'll call it decoration. So they're all kind of collaged in some way. And what I did was I printed it out on the paper that I wanted for the book. And it's, I want to say 160 gram. I have no idea what that is in American weight. But here it would be 160. And then I printed it again on 250. I think that's correct. And that's a much heavier weight paper. And then cut out the different collage elements from the page and layered that on top. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I have a page here that I ended up not using, which is the cover. Kind of wish I had really thought through how I was going to do the cover more, because I was planning on using the cover that comes, you can see this is a nice little cover that comes with the kit, but I ended up not using it, as you know. And then I could have had this as a page in the book, but I didn't, and I had already made everything, and I was making the cover, and I was like, oh, wasn't liking how it was working. So yeah, so that ended up not getting used. But as you can see, so what I would do is, so I would print this twice, and then you just cut out the element and then layer it back on top of the original printing, so that you can see this is the heavyweight, and I think the lightweight is also sitting here somewhere. But so print that out, and then you can cut it, like I said, cut out the elements and it layers on top. It's hard to really even see that there is something else there. Some of the pages, like here, I can show you here, so you can see there. That's the, and I just layered it on top. I really like that look. It allows you to also add even more shading around, so you can bring out certain elements. Okay, so this first one, and let me just say one thing before I keep going. I did not fill any of my pockets. I really ended up liking how this book looked, and I wanted to show you with nothing in it, because I really like it without the pockets filled. But I wanted whoever gets this to be able to, of course, fill in the pockets. This is an envelope that comes in the kit, cute little envelope. I filled this with those things that I didn't use. So for instance, you know, this is one of the elements from the ephemera kit, or set of pages. Everything that I didn't use that would go into your pockets are all in here. So like there's all these little journal cards. And I'm going to take one of these out simply so I can show you the different pockets, use it as an example. So for instance, there's these little guys. And again, I printed this 50%. So basically, instead of printing it one page to a page, I printed it 2 pages to a page. That shrinks it down considerably. So these would be, you know, your normal size journal. But if you print it 2 to a page, you get a nice little mini version. So anywho, this is, yeah, the little, and it's kind of stuffed. So you can even see it doesn't close as nicely as it would if it wasn't so stuffed. So I'll use this as my little example. So for instance, here what I did was cut out the frame and then I layered underneath, and it's hard to see in the video, but it's a vellum that has, here I have a piece of it, vellum that has been embossed. Just run it through your embossing, and so it's been embossed, so it adds a little bit of something. And then this is also a little window, and so you can put something in behind here. Now I added this sticker that I had from my stash. It's a 3D little leaf, and another sticker. This is a little mushroom stamp sticker. That one's from Sticky, STICKII. Great club. Okay, moving on. So, like I said, these pages that are blank without those flowers and the sprinkles, that have none of the collage, those are from Digital Curio. This is a rub-on from my stash. This little stamp is really cool. It's a set of stickers that are, it's almost like fabric. It's like very strange because it's slick almost. It's very interesting fabric. And then in the kit are these cute little, almost, I was calling them buttons as I was working, these little button guys. And this one says B is for bird. I really liked those. I used those quite a bit in here. So that's the one that is from Antique Papery. And then here what I did was cut out and then cut inside of the jar and put vellum behind it. It's neat. It makes it look like you're looking into a cloudy, like you can almost, you know, the glass is dirty, maybe. And then you have a little tuck spot there as well. See, and then, yeah, so this is the one that's from Antique Papery. It's really nice. And here you have another little tuck spot. And I had fun. The pictures in the kit all had little staples in them. see where, yeah. But, so throughout the book, I copied the staples with actual staples. So when I wanted to put something on, like, that's hard to see, isn't it? Let me lower the, there we go. There we go. When I wanted to add something like here with the little, it's a sari silk yarn. I used the staples just to mimic that look that was going on. That's a nice little tuck spot as well. So again, this page is from the kit. So wherever you see the collaging on it, that is from the Fairyland Forest. Okay, and then I love this. Now these little eggs, and I love that I had one that matches the egg in the image from the kit. But these little eggs came from my stash. It's like a little punch out of tons of eggs. And again, this is a little like a belly band. And then I absolutely loved this little card. It's a like this little card. And it's not tuck spot, it's not anything, because I just wanted it to live. So this little die cut, and then, can you please help me find my bird? I think that is the cutest darn thing. With the little guy sitting on her head. Just adorbs. And then we have this page. So again, this is from the Fairyland Forest kit. And then this jar is from the ephemera. And there was 2 of these little tags. The other one is further in the book. And this one happened to say magical berries from a faraway forest. So I just loved that. So again, I used my staples to match the other staples in the pictures. And just stapled this little guy on so that he's like a label for the little jar. And little staple guys. So this is for an example of, in the image, you can almost, let me bring that up, you can almost see the staple in the picture behind. Right? And so I just mimicked the staple, and I tried to, you know, when I was doing that, put the leaves on the back so I could add a little something as I was stapling that in. And that is a tiny little tuck spot, but it's also just cute. All right, and then we have, this is a little pocket. And I did try to, you know, with some of the images and the pictures, kind of, you know, make a connections. So the little ribbon for the mushrooms and little mushroom pocket. And then here I just had a bunch of printed vellum from another project, and I just had pieces of it. So I just added that in there. This is Magic of Nature. I'm sorry about allergies are so bad. And again, this is the collaged page, so you can see underneath there. See, that's the image, and then add this little guy over it, and that makes a nice little tuck spot as well. I like it because at first you look at it and you don't see that there's a pocket. So if there's nothing in the pocket, you don't actually see that it is a pocket. And I love kind of hiding pockets that way. And this is my little owl page. So this is a vellum sticker, and then this is a rub-on sticker, and then the little button. I don't know why I kept calling them buttons, but the little button guy. And then we have a little pocket over here. There's a few, very few, the collage pages that I didn't do anything to them. So this is one of the collage pages that I didn't do anything to. And these are my 2 favorite pages. So this page, if it's, you know, unfolded, had on both sides these wonderful little, it's like it's from a notebook and the page is sitting on the other page. And then in the image, I'll take this off, there's a little paper clip. So I decided to mimic the paper clip. So now it's like it's real. And then we have a little butterfly, and again, that's printed on the page, and that's pretty cute. And then this is a nice big pocket. And also with the bunny, he's 2-layered, right? Because this one I had to print 3 times. You have the base, I had to print it again so I could get the mat, and then print it again to get all the elements to add on back onto the page. And so he's 3 little bunnies, and I didn't glue on these little ears, and that gives them a little more dimension because they're kind of popping out there at you. And then, of course, again, I had to staple in the things on the... Oh, no, sorry, this one isn't. It's underneath, which is why I always say, well, I'll do that. And then these are stickers, again, from Sticky. And this one is F for flower. F is for flower. And here's another piece from the ephemera. And it's again on there, like a little tuck spot. And we have N is for nest and E is for eggs. And then here's another, so we've got just a little piece of scrap sari silk, a couple of die cuts, and then on the other side is a nice little tuck. And then this is the another of the, so this one's actually printed on the page, and so you can see there's the original. And again, I put some vellum, and so you have another. So you could have fun and have put one thing in there with one image, and then you take it out, you have this other image of something in the little jar. And here, this is a mushroom for my stash. Just, and then we have this little band that I used as a pocket. This is probably my favorite page. I love how this one turned out. So I didn't do anything to this side, but on this side, down the side was all of these little butterflies, and you can see, if I look that back, that's the original page. And then what I did was just put it, you know, another piece of that vellum that I had in my stash. And in the image, again, were some staples. You can also see I missed in the picture. I didn't quite line up my staple with the staple in the picture. That's, yeah. And again, so I just put them on and then lined up my stapler to match the staples that were printed in the image. And of course, then they are nicely fluttering, trying to get off the page. I like that. Now, technically, this is, you could also use that as a tuck spot. Sorry. And this is, and I've used this a couple times in the book. My mother, get this out, made these for me. Just little scraps of fabric that she ran through her sewing machine to put together in a nice little strip. I've got a bunch of them in different colors. And so I use 2 of these, and sometimes I'll go in and I'll just take one little piece, 2 pieces, a whole line of them. And I love having these available. And this one's getting low. So I have a bunch of these. Thank you, Mom. And I love to use them as elements like this. And because this was, you know, with the staples, with the butterflies, I used these little pictures of nests to cover up the staples on this side. I didn't like how they looked. And then, oh, this is the one place I actually put something, and then I left it in there. I like it, but like I said, I kind of want to not have anything in the pockets. So here's another collage page, and again, you can see it's underneath there. And just added a little ribbon, and except this is a little pocket. This page I didn't do anything to. I think it'd be cute to layer this ribbon and maybe make a few of them add on. And then you would have another tuck spot. And then here again, this time this little piece is glued on, so this is another one of those just little scraps of fabric stitched together. And then one of those little tabs. This one says, "The magical and mystical forest welcomes you." I love that. And then so this obviously could be used as a tag in one of the pockets. Using it here is just an element, and S is for squirrel, with a couple of little stickers from Sticky. Then here's the other, okay, that one wants to move around. It's the other page that's just like the other side. Again, with like a little notebook with the little paper clip. So again, just mimic the paper clip. Isn't that cute? I love to do that. And then of course you still have a tuck spot. And then on this page we have another little pocket. And this is some scrapbook paper that has my guessing is it's embossing powder. I didn't do it. And then that is the end of the book. So I hope you enjoyed that. Really loved this kit. It's really pretty colors and I enjoyed working with it. And I loved building up the pages. I really love it when I can find a kit that has little things like this where I can play with 3D. I really enjoy that. So anywho, I hope you enjoyed. Take a peek at the different inspirations. Give this book a shot. It's a lot of fun, obviously. I've done 2 now of this type. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing more because I have a whole box of upholstery fabrics. So each one will probably end up making its way into a little book. Oh, and I will, if I don't have it up when I put this one up, I do have a video showing you a walkthrough of this guy. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you got questions, comments, please leave them down below. Do the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.